Over the last few weeks, there's been a furor, a controversy around a fake TikTok doctor. Matthew Lani has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. And this week, the 27-year-old was arrested at Helen Joseph Hospital, where he continued to pretend to be a medical practitioner. This is after the Gauteng Health Department confirmed he is not a doctor registered at any government facility. It was after the Health Professions Council of South Africa said, while there is no Matthew Lani registered with us, it also comes after Wits University's medical school saying there was never a Matthew Lani who was registered as a medical student at Wits University. Matthew Lani has been making some money off social media by selling health products, or so-called health products. Dr. Mbuyise Mzukwa is the chairperson of the South African Medical Association. How concerned are you with the ease in which someone can put on a stethoscope, stand in front of his phone, record a video, post it to social media and say, hello, my name's Lester Kivett and I am selling you this particular remedy, and take my word for it, I'm a doctor. This will cure you of whatever ailment. How concerned are you with the relative ease in which people can pretend to be doctors?
Good morning to you and to your listeners, and thanks for inviting me. We are really concerned and anxious about, people, revealing themselves or even, touting themselves as healthcare professionals. I mean, we've noted this trend since the COVID-19 period, where, so-called health experts emerged, from nowhere, especially in the social media space, and this trend has continued with TikTok and stuff like that. And not only, doctors or people who are faking to be doctors, but other healthcare professions as well. So this is concerning because if people are touting to be doctors, then they tend to want to give advices. They tend to sell products like you were saying earlier. And that is very dangerous for communities, because you are selling products, you are not trained on those products. On top of that, you don't have any medical knowledge whatsoever around the conditions of the patients or people you are talking to. And you also, those products, most of them are not known to to SAPRA, which is our regulatory body on medicines, and let alone that you are not a trained medical professional.
From what I understand, the number of fake doctors is quite low in comparison to the general doctor population. But the impact on just one person's life could have grave concern. False or fake medical advice, the suggestion of buying a certain product that they tout online, even if it has the impact on one person's life, that should be a concern.
It is a great concern, to be really giving such advice, even if the numbers are low, like you said. But I mean, we don't want not even a single person to be dying an unnecessary death, or even acquiring sicknesses simply because they got an advice from a person who purported to be a healthcare professional. Let's say, for example, you or even promote this product, on your social media space, and this particular person buys this thing. You don't know their kidney status, you don't know their liver status, you don't know, any of their statuses. So it's important, because even for healthcare professionals, there is a requirement to know, other factors before you prescribe. So it's not just like you're selling bread, where you can just, without thinking, you just sell out that bread. There are processes in place. There's a process that you need to engage in, to make sure that you are giving the right medicine to the right person. Imagine if you have a pregnant person and you're giving medication to that person, and that you may abort, that pregnancy because the medicine was contraindicated to that particular person.
Very important question here by a listener called George. And George asks, please ask about TV ads where so-called purported doctors recommend certain antibacterial soaps, for example. I have a couple of acquaintances and friends who are actors, and sometimes I'll see them in TV ads. And I'm like, you're not a doctor, you're wearing a white coat in a TV commercial. It is by inference that you are a doctor. Where do the regulations stand on that with people simply with a stethoscope and a white coat offering some sort of, maybe not medical advice, but giving a certain credibility of product simply by wearing a white coat?
I think all of us, we need to be really concerned and do something about it, because we know that, there are regulatory bodies in the country. We've got SAPRA, we've got the HPCSA, we've got other regulatory bodies that are looking into how to protect, the public in terms of the healthcare products and services. So if you see somebody, you think this person is really not a doctor, I think it's incumbent upon all of us to be reporting that person to the, relevant authorities, because you are protecting your own. That person could be selling out that stuff to your aunt. It could be your cousin. It could be your brother, So it's important that when we see it, we clamp down on it, and we work together with the law enforcement agencies. Like I said, it's not a government problem. It's not a SAPRA problem. It's a community problem that we must all of us collaborate and clamp down on these fake healthcare professionals.
Traditional health practitioners are recognized under South African medical law, but they must be registered, and they must adhere to the provisions of the Traditional Health Practitioners Act, and that has been implemented for some time. But last week on the show, we spoke about so many faith-based and traditional healers advertising in classified sections in newspapers. Is it the same type of scrutiny that people must have when going to see their GP, making sure their doctors are registered, that when people may be seeking the assistance of a traditional health practitioner in South Africa, to ask them, are you registered under South African law?
Well, there has been a gap in terms of the regulation of such people in South Africa. And the other problem is that our government has been very slow and also scared, if I may put it bluntly so, to regulate what is called traditional medicine. Nobody is saying, there's a problem with traditional medicine and stuff like that, but it must be regulated, because all traditional every medicine has got side effects. It's a fallacy and a lie to say this is a natural stuff. It won't kill you. It doesn't have any of the side effects. You will recall, even in the bushes, there's what looks like mushroom. That thing is natural, but it looks like a mushroom. It's very poisonous. It will kill you if you consume it. So this fallacy to say it's a natural product, so it won't have any side effects. Even a snake bite is very natural, but it will kill you.
Dr. Mvuyise Mzukwa, unfortunately, thanks so much. That's all we have time for. Really appreciate your thoughts.